Well, hey friends, when most people think about leadership, they often think about titles, charisma, or even authority. But what if I told you that true leadership is not about what you have, it's actually about who you are? And the first step to becoming a great leader is by recognizing the gap between being an amateur leader and a professional leader. I want to take a moment and just talk about why many of us get stuck and how to break free. Well, what do I mean by an amateur leader? Amateur leaders often mean well, but they often operate reactively instead of proactively. Now, they're not bad people. They're just driven by fear, self-doubt, or a craving for external validation. And here's what I mean by that. They often fear criticism or rejection. An amateur leader often avoids tough conversations because honestly, they're afraid of conflict. They think, what if people don't like me? What if I make the wrong call? And this fear causes them to play small. And what I found is that fear of failure is not what holds us back. It's actually the fear of being seen as a failure. Amateur leaders are often distracted by non-essential tasks. Instead of focusing on high-impact, high-leverage work, they busy themselves with things that don't actually matter. Why? Because it's easier to clear out your email inbox than to have that tough conversation with another team member. Because busyness, that's the amateur leader's hiding place. Amateur leaders often look for external validation. They literally thrive on applause. They need constant reassurance that they're doing a good job. And when the validation isn't there, they start second guessing themselves. And the danger of that is that a leader that relies on someone else's opinion of them will never lead with confidence. Amateur leaders lack a clear vision or core values. Without having a strong internal compass, amateur leaders get pulled in every direction. They can't say no, they don't set healthy boundaries, and their teams end up scattered and often frustrated. And you've probably seen this play out before. There's a manager that doesn't like tough conversations. The team isn't performing well, they're missing a ton of deadlines, morale is dropping, but instead of addressing it head on, they simply say nothing. They think, I don't want to upset anybody. Maybe the problem will solve itself. But spoiler alert, it doesn't. Months later, those unresolved problems begin to frustrate everybody. They fester. Team members get frustrated, performance gets worse, and now the manager has a full-blown crisis on their hands. All because they chose comfort instead of courage. That's why I think that comfort is the amateur leader's downfall. So when's the turning point? When you go from amateur to professional leadership. Here's the good news. You don't have to stay amateur. Like Steven Pressfield says in his book, Turning Pro is a decision. It's a shift in mindset where you quit dabbling and you start committing. So here's what I think this means for a professional leader. It means you face your fears instead of avoiding them. It means you begin to prioritize the important over the urgent. And I think it means you lead with your values and not for validation. A professional leader doesn't always seek harmony, they seek clarity. They have the hard conversations not because they're fearless, but because they know that growth requires discomfort. So if this short video hit close to home, that's good news. It means that you're self-aware enough to grow. Leadership is not about perfection, it's about progress. So here's my challenge for you today. Stop waiting for permission. Stop hiding behind excuses. Decide today to turn pro in your leadership. An amateur reacts, a professional, they lead. So now it's your move. Will you stay an amateur? Or will you step into being the leader that you are meant to be? Let's go pro. Have a great day.